Right, Forest fans, Max Newton here, giving you a quick review of Nottingham Forest away at Fulham. Fulham 5, Nottingham Forest nil. I mean, I know every game in the Premier League is difficult and every side has good players and you scrap for every point, but come on. 5-0 away at Fulham, who were like, what, one or two places above us, in a game that, people were pitching as a must-win game and get back on track. Show the players, show that they're fighting for the manager and fighting for the club. That doesn't do it. That was possibly a worse performance than Saturday. Just absolutely abysmal from front to back. I thought, to be fair, the first 25 minutes we looked comfortable. We didn't look up under any stress. Yeah, their wingers were getting a bit too much space, but that was all right, and we were knocking the ball about well. And then Sangare again loses the ball pitifully in the midfield. Mangala points to his man rather than tracking his man. And we can see just a soft goal where it just slices open. And second goal again, just playing through us, players not closing down, players not tracking their men, individual mistakes all over the place, just shocking. And more of the same in the second half. Even Ryan Yates, basically giving a goal away by passing straight to one of their players. But, first half, Sangare, £35 million. He's looking like potentially the biggest waste of money we've ever seen at the City Ground. And I know it takes players time to get used to the pace and the physicality of the Premier League and all that sort of business. But he's had quite a few games now. And that was shocking, absolutely shocking. And not for the first time. It was shocking on Saturday. He's been shocking in other games before. He's getting dispossessed at will. He's trying to pass the ball through players and giving the ball away or passing it to nobody. Just absolutely disgraceful performance in the first half. And at fault for the first goal. He doesn't even look like an athlete. He doesn't look like he can run. He doesn't look like he could be physical. He looks like Bambi on ice. It's shocking. Also shocking, Dominguez first half. I mean, I just don't know what's happened to him. It seems like since he gave that goal away at West Ham, which, let's not forget, that's only 4 games ago that we went away to West Ham. We're on the front foot. We're scoring goals. We're causing trouble. And we were unlucky to come away on the wrong end of a 3-2 defeat. Dominguez, appalling, absolutely appalling. Again, giving the ball away, dallying on the ball, passing the ball to one of them, not closing down, running to players when they've passed the ball already to somebody else. I just don't know what's happened to him at all. If I was Steve Cooper, he rightfully hooked them both at half time. I wouldn't speak to them again. I'd stick them training with not even the reserves, training with, I don't know, the under 16-year-olds. It's just absolutely disgraceful effort and performance from those two. Mangala, to be honest, not that far behind, all over the pitch. That's the sort of performance where Italian newspapers will be giving everybody 0 out of 10. Absolutely disgraceful. Morgan Gibbs-White came on in the second half, in the centre midfield, which is where, lots of us have said where we'd like to see him play. I don't think he touched the ball for 20 minutes in the second half and didn't really affect the game very much until the last 10 minutes or so. Origi, shocking. Shocking. Fullbacks, poor. I thought Toffolo all right, but both fullbacks seem to give the wingers far too much time and far too much space. And Aina got pushed off the ball for one goal. He went close to him down, and the player did a pretty bang average turn, and he carried on running and jogged round like a tanker with the turning circle of a tanker. It's shocking. I've said before we were closing down and defending like beavers. We were closing down and defending like walruses today. It was abysmal. Felipe average. Don't know what to say. Goalkeeper, has he made a save yet? All he seems to do is pick. All I've seen him do is pick the ball out of the net. That's all I've seen him do with his hands. I don't think he's made what you call a decent save. Yeah, at least Turner was. He might have looked a bit ropey with his feet, but he was making saves and keeping us in games. This game we had no pressing. We had Langer and Hudson-Odoi on the pitch. They need to be standing on the wing as high up as possible and getting the ball to them as quickly as possible. But we just didn't. Yeah, terrible, terrible. I love Steve Cooper, and I don't believe he should be sacked, and I don't want him to get sacked. But that's a sacking. Bearing in mind the run of form that we're in, that's the performance that gets you sacked. Unfortunately, there's no two ways about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a new manager very soon. I say probably not by Saturday because I think it's probably too soon, but possibly by the Spurs game we might see somebody in, which would be a crying shame because I think for one thing it will just it opens the doors then for sacking a manager every 6 months when results aren't going right, because I know nobody else will earn any cookies in the jar to to last any sort of hint of bad form. And that's the owner's record, is for running through getting through managers like a man with diarrhea does with his pants. That's what he's like. So I fear that we'll see that. I think January we probably need to get rid of all the loan players that we've had and replace them, and we're probably looking at 8 or 9 new signings that need to come in, which is a sorry state of affair. At the moment I'd swap Dominguez, Origi, Sangare back for Brennan Johnson at the drop of a hat, because we'd have an outlet and have an outlaw. At least last season when we went low block for all the possession that we didn't have and all of that, and all the we need to play on the front foot, blah blah blah. At least we had a defined style of play that we all knew. Everyone knew what we were trying to do. And I think this is a problem with second season also, is that second season in the Premier League is that last season we knew that we could get battered and we could have games taken away from us away from home, but we were battling for everything and everybody was behind that. This season we all expect more, and so yeah, I don't know whether we can get away with that this season. So yeah, really really disappointing. Saving grace that the other promoted sides are worse than us at the moment, but we've got to go to all of them in the rest of the season, and on this form and this way of playing, you just can't see us getting anything at those games, let alone games against proper Premier League teams. So really really disappointing. Things need to change a lot, but we need to get back to what we were doing 4 or 5 games ago, where we looked like an established Premier League